What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and we have a bit of a different video to talk about. So, at the end of the last video, I went over as best as I could, off the top of my head, what each of the Cosmo cards represented in the Star Wars and the Wizard of Oz universe. When I did that up the top, it was literally all off the top of my head. And it's been a long time since I watched either of those, even though I really love Star Wars. However, I really love giant monsters and kaijus and the Godzilla franchise. So we're here to talk to you about kaijus and which each of them represent, and because they're all based on something. So, Dogoran, the Mad Flame Kaiju, represents Godzilla, but more specifically, Burning Godzilla. Burning Godzilla first appeared in the 1996 film Godzilla vs. Destroyer, and is named, however, it may be based on Burning Godzilla and Godzilla in general. But it is named after Dogora, which is a giant space jellyfish, whose movie was all the way back in 1964. Godzilla kind of predates the space jellyfish. However, it's just the Burning Godzilla doesn't. Burning Godzilla was kind of a special case for that specific movie, because in that movie Godzilla was kind of burning up. I'm not going to spoil the movie if anyone wants to watch it, but there's a lot. Godzilla was having issues. That's the TLDR. So, Ghidorah, the mystery dust kaiju, is a mixture of two different kaijus. So its appearance is based on Mothra and Meccadogoran. So Meccadogoran is kind of also moth-like, and both are female. Mothra is the only good kaiju in the whole Godzilla franchise that is strictly good. Godzilla is basically an animal. Like, at the end of the day, Godzilla will try to destroy humanity, or will try to help them, depending on what the writers want. Mothra, however, was created as strictly being good. Mothra is a good kaiju, and only strictly good kaiju, and has never done anything evil. In her first appearance, she shows up and destroys the city, but she wasn't intentionally trying to destroy the city. She was just flying over it, and it was more of a byproduct of what happens. Because, giant monster and the wind pressure from her wings. Meccadogoran, however, is one of Godzilla's enemies that he fights a lot and all that. So yeah, it's a mixture on those two. Gamera is based on Gamera, the giant turtle that is often called the friend to all children. However, Gamera, when first appeared, was destroying the city, so isn't exactly the strictly good kaiju. However, as later appearances happened, Gamera became more of a savior than a monster. So, Tsukiru is the Star Destroying Kaiju. It's based on Legion. Legion is one of Gamera's enemies that first appeared in Gamera Attack of Legion, and is an alien that is silicone based, fun fact. So, also, Gamera 2 Attack of Legion is from the 90s trilogy of Gamera, which was the only point in which Gamera was actually doing better than Godzilla at the Japanese box office. Fun fact is the Gamera trilogy that came out in the 90s was like the peak of Gamera, is what a lot of people say. Because Gamera, like, the first one was really good, and then after that, they kind of got all campy and wonky. And a lot of the same thing happened with Godzilla, but Godzilla always managed to find its way back. Gamera didn't really. Gamera did really, really good, and did good. The first one did good, and the rest did really, really bad until the 90s trilogy is something I found out while researching for this video. Humongous is based on Humongo, which is a giant spider and one of Godzilla's enemies. Humongo didn't appear in a ton of films, so they're not like one of the biggest, baddest of Godzilla's enemies, but it is what it is. So, Radian, the multi-dimensional kaiju, is based on Dark Legal, which is named after Rodan. So Dark Legal is the main antagonist of the Ultraman series, while Rodan is a giant pterodactyl from the Godzilla franchise. So Rodan, I know a decent amount of Rodan. Rodan was one of not the first, but one of Godzilla's first enemies, because the original Godzilla is him destroying Tokyo, and is a representation of the fear of nuclear weapons and power, and it's directly mentioned in that movie multiple times. However, but Rodan is like one of the first kaijus he ends up fighting. So yeah, meccadogoran. The super anti-kaiju war machine Meccadogoran is based on Mecha Godzilla, which was a mech designed to stop Godzilla, and was a really, really cool idea. You know, have someone pilot to stop Godzilla, and in a lot of the movies, Mecha Godzilla was like really, really strong too. Next up is thunderking, the lightning strike kaiju, which is based on King Ghidorah, the space dragon. So, King Ghidorah is arguably one of the strongest monsters in the whole Godzilla universe, and depending on which Godzilla we get, because there are multiple Godzillas. Godzilla will often have to team up to beat it, because when Toho, the studio that owns and made Godzilla, created Ghidorah, it was created to be so powerful, and originally it took Godzilla, Mothra, and I want to say Baragon to defeat it, but I might be wrong. I know it took three people. It took three kaijus to defeat it. And Mecha Godzilla, the Mecha Thunder King, is based on Mecha Ghidorah. Mecha Ghidorah is, unlike Mecha Godzilla, wasn't designed to defeat King Ghidorah, as you might assume. It was designed to, once again, defeat Godzilla. Godzilla is not a good guy. He is whatever the writers want him to be, essentially. At first he's an enemy, then he sometimes is good, and then sometimes he's enemy again. Yeah, the way that the character is written, it's like it's an animal, and that's basically it. So, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is actually based on Pacific Rim, of all things. So, in Pacific Rim, there is, but I won't spoil it too much, but there's this thing called the Breach, and it's where more or less the monsters come from. There's more to it than that, but that's all I'm going to say about it. the Kaiju Slumber and the Capture Files are a reference to G-Force in the Godzilla films, which are a special force that all the nations of the world created to stop all these kaijus and all these monsters from messing up their cities. So the files are obviously the files that they have on each individual monster, and the capture mission is when they send in the special team to capture the monsters. So, and that's what the anti kaiju war machine super mechs are based for. They send these out in they send these out to like capture or kill the kaijus and the monsters if they have to. The G-Force doesn't, on the wiki, what I did while researching, didn't say that exactly. However, I'm assuming that's what Konami was going for when they made the archetype. Kyoto Waterfront is based on, as you could probably get, it's based on Kyoto, Japan, and Tokyo. That's why the name in fact comes from a mixture of both of those, which is where most of the monsters in each of the respective films and to take place. It's kind of like how in American film, how a lot of the like stuff, like a lot of things, movies and all that, are based in New York City, Los Angeles, or Chicago, or like any major city really. For the Godzilla films and all the monster movie films, it's based on in Kyoto or Tokyo, depending on each film. It's a very similar situation. Anyway, that's it for today. Tell me what you guys thought of this video where I go over what each thing is based on in the comment section below. If it is your birthday today, happy birthday. If you want to send meaningful deck profiles, replays, or you want me to cover another archetype and try to go over what each is based on, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to research and figure it out. And if there isn't a lot of research to be had, like if it's original lore, I'll do my best to figure it out. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.